Good morning, guys. Out on another dog walk. I'm literally becoming part of the dog walking community now in the area. I'm not even joking. I'm meeting all the other dogs, chatting to all the other dog walkers, and it's a beautiful thing really, because I've never had a dog. So I'm loving it, to be honest. And I know this is probably going to sound terrible, but because this is my boyfriend's dog, his family dog, I'm able to enjoy the benefits of having a dog by taking her on walks every single day and cuddling her and not having to actually have the responsibilities of owning a dog. So what do I want to talk about today? I want to talk about how you are spending your downtime. And I'd just like to clarify before I get into this one, I'm not like classing anybody as better than anybody else, like depending on what they do with the downtime. Like, I'm not making any judgments or anything, because it's just the way that our society kind of is with social media and like fast-paced content and stuff. But the problem is we are overexposing ourselves to all this content so much to the point of there is no benefit of it, because it does go in one ear and out the other. So I'm not like criticizing anybody that ends up in a TikTok brain rot and just scrolls for a few hours, because we have all been there and occasionally it will happen to me too. But on a regular basis, how are you spending your downtime? Like, will it benefit you? And it doesn't have to be something that takes brain power and that you don't enjoy doing, and it's like that's more of a chore than enjoying the few hours that you have to spare in a day. But more time going on a walk is always enjoyable. More time listening to a podcast that you'll gain something from actually is enjoyable. It's entertaining. But the thought of putting on a 2-hour podcast rather than sitting there and scrolling for 2 hours, like, you would instantly choose the scrolling one over the podcast majority of the time. And yeah, you don't have to look at everything that you do to gain something from it. It could be an act of creativity. It could be crocheting. It could be baking for your family and bringing people together. It could be going to a workout class with your friend. Just trying something new. It doesn't have to be a workout class. Like, how are you spending your downtime? I think it's really important, because it actually is a lot more time. Let me try and word this one properly. Your downtime adds up. It adds up. And you know, a lot of people's excuse for not being in the position where they want to be is that they don't have enough time. That is such a common excuse, and it's what we're led to believe. But waking up an hour earlier, you can do a lot in that hour. You can do a lot in that hour. If you don't have a morning routine and you don't meditate and you don't journal, and I'm not putting everything down to this, I just do want to emphasize that, because I don't think everything, the be-all end-all is meditation, journal and all these wellness habits. That might not be what suits you best. Reading, just things that bring you benefit in the long run. Are you implementing any of that in your daily life? In comparison to how much you scroll. In comparison to how much time that you might spend at the pub with your friends, spending money on alcohol that you end up regretting every single time. Like, I think you just need to weigh out your priorities sometimes, and an hour or 2 or 3 or however much you have in a day. Like, realistically, if you do work a 9 to 5 and you do get home and you eat by like 6 or 7, you're probably going to be awake from 7 till 10. What are you doing in that time? And I'm not saying you can't watch Netflix or watch something or just put your feet up and relax, but playing a board game with your family is relaxing. Well, it can be, sometimes not actually. Reading a book, going on a walk. I'm trying to think of other things that aren't so blatantly obvious and other examples, but I can't even think off the top of my head. But for example, I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and these girls were talking about this platform called Gaia, which I didn't even know existed. And apparently it's like a Netflix, but for like wellness, spirituality, self-improvement and stuff. And that's so cool. I did not know that existed, and I'm going to have a look into it and potentially get a subscription. Because nothing wrong with Netflix, like I said. Films are great, they're creative, and sometimes you can learn things from films, series or etc. But if you want to consume higher vibrational content, and I don't know, basically you just need to be really careful of the energies that you're allowing into your body, and not just mindlessly do these things. Do you want to decrease attention span? Do you want that for yourself? Because that's just exactly what happens when you do spend majority of your downtime on TikTok, brain rotting and consuming nonsense half the time. There's a difference between mindfully scrolling and brain rotting. You can scroll with the intention of learning something. You can search something up that you want to learn about or that you're interested in, and the world's your oyster. You know, there's so much information out there. But the back-to-back mindless shit that we consume, it's just, yeah, it's terrible for us, and we know this as well. Everybody knows this. No one wants to admit it. Everybody knows it. And the problem is as well, people know it and they say, yeah, so what? They don't care. Yet they're so quick to complain about, I don't know, feeling depressed, lethargic, or that they can't focus at school, that they can't read a book anymore just because they get so bored quickly. Like, people are so quick to just complain about these things, but they're not doing anything for their own benefit anyway. So obviously you choose how you want to live your life. I'm just saying that an hour in the morning or 3 hours at night is more than enough time to invest in healthier habits and things that they don't take much effort, but it will bring a lot more benefit to you. Molly's on her run. That's it probably. I'm going to leave that one here. I'm going to walk back now, wake my boyfriend up. God, I look a little bit crazy. I'll see you tomorrow.